Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. Let's do a quick update to yesterday's big story about the New York Times reporting that Russia and Vladimir Putin were putting bounties on the heads of U.S. troops. I think the biggest development in the last 24 hours has been the Trump administration's reaction and response. They don't deny it. They don't say the information is inaccurate. Instead, they all try to run away from it. They all try to disclaim knowing anything about it. Not me, not me, not me. Let's start with the Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe. You remember the one who got caught lying about the fact that he prosecuted terrorist cases when in fact he prosecuted 0 terrorist cases. These are the people in the upper echelons of our government, folks. And Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe issues a statement and he says, quote, "I have confirmed that neither the president nor the vice president were ever briefed on any intelligence alleged by the New York Times in its reporting yesterday." Well, do you believe that for 1 minute? Do you believe that there was intelligence about Russia and Vladimir Putin commissioning hits on U.S. troops and nobody bothered to tell the president? That is absurd. It is just transparently false. Of course, if it's true, then we have the most incompetent fools in the upper echelons of our government not to tell the President of the United States these things. Of course they told him. And what does the President have to say about his bestie, Putin, commissioning hits on our troops? Of course he sends a tweet. He says, quote, "Nobody briefed or told me or VP Pence or Chief of Staff Mark Meadows about the so-called attacks on our troops in Afghanistan by Russia, as reported through an anonymous source by the fake news New York Times. Everybody is denying it, and there have not been many attacks on us." Please put a pin in that because we're going to come back to it. He goes on in a second tweet. "Nobody's been tougher on Russia than the Trump administration with corrupt Joe Biden and Obama. Russia had a field day taking over important parts of Ukraine. Where's Hunter? Probably just another phony Times hit job, just like the failed Russian hoax. Who is the source?" That's what Donald Trump says to the American people upon learning, he knew in advance, that Putin was trying to have U.S. soldiers killed and he was paying militants to do it. This is how Donald Trump responds. He doesn't say a word about holding Russia accountable. He doesn't say a word about punishing Putin for putting our troops in harm's way. He doesn't say a word about concern for the safety or the well-being of our men and women in military uniform. Instead, he talks about the Russian hoax, the anonymous source, and where's Hunter Biden. You know, I am sick and tired of listening to liars, whether it's Donald Trump or Pence or Pompeo or Ratcliffe or the rest of these clowns. Let's look at what some real people have to say about some of this. You know, there was so much understandable outrage on social media. And a lot of our, I don't like the word followers, a lot of our friends on Twitter, a lot of our Team Justice members weighed in and said things like this from a gentleman who calls himself Essential Worker. I love that. Russia offers bounties to the Taliban for killing American soldiers in Afghanistan, and Trump knew. But instead of attacking Russia, Trump attacks Americans, removing racist symbols. Republicans support Trump, and you support Russia and Taliban who kill our soldiers. Our friend Linda, I can't believe this is the response of the President of the United States to Putin putting a bounty on the lives of U.S. soldiers. I was upset last night, but now I am beyond outrage at his capitulation. He is not fit to be president, and he's really, really scared of Putin. And this from our friend Carol, who hones right in on Trump's claim that, well, there haven't been that many attacks on our soldiers. Carol says, not many. One American life is too many. Accountability. And then that brings me to this last tweet, which I think is the most tragic, perhaps the most poignant tweet that I read from one of our friends on Twitter. And her name is Maria. She says, Trump is a traitor. He is not worth the blood my son left in Afghanistan. I have a shirt with a bullet hole that I'd like to show all his defenders. Then Maria says, I don't have a big account, but if any of you do, please retweet. We retweeted Maria. And we thank your son for his service. And we thank you and your family for your sacrifice and your service. And you know, Donald Trump implicitly acknowledges, yeah, Putin did this. And then he expressly says, but, you know, there weren't that many attacks on U.S. soldiers. Well, Mr. President, I'm sure that's great comfort and consolation to Maria and her son. Let's get out and vote in November, folks. Please stay safe. I look forward to talking with you all tomorrow.